go to another country. So like a black woman goes over to Jamaica, goes to Latin America, and she has this mentality like, I don't cook, I don't clean. You think that's harder for her to find a relationship or easier? Which one do you think is more difficult, the men going or the women?
Um, it's hard. Ultimately, I'm going to say the women, but if you go to certain places like Jamaica, a lot of times the men just want to come here, so they may put up with it. But if you go to Europe, the men are more traditional. And when I lived in Europe, I mean, I didn't have any problems dating there. I couldn't beat them off of me with a stick, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
All right. But I think it's different if you want to bring a European over because I think they're, someone from Europe, it's a lot easier for them to travel.
Yes, yes, that is true. But I think men do have it a lot easier, and I think a lot of American women see that now. But I really love the podcast topic because a lot of my military friends married foreign women, and a lot of them regret bringing them here or just regret marrying them in general. And a lot of the complaints were that the women really are not uh, feminine and traditional once they get here. They change. But in my experience, just mingling with women of other countries, especially the Colombia, the women are very rude to other women. Like they're nice to the men, but they're not nice to other women.
Really? That's weird
No,
because
they're
my
very
one
mean.
saying entirely different. She would say that she smiles, in her country and everybody's friendly, but here she get the mean mug from the black women. The black women give her the mean
Hmm.
mug. What you doing? So it seems completely different. I think women go through that because y'all look each other up and down. I've
Yeah,
been in
yeah, I
the
can see
store.
that. Yeah, it could be that I can see why they may I don't know what your wife looks like, but if she's pretty, then I'm going to assume the women may
She
be
ugly.
nice.
I can't deal with them pretty women, man. I gotta give me a butt
Mhm.
ugly.
You
Shit.
don't have an ugly wife.
Yo, man, she a mud duck. I had to give me a mud duck. Then I know she won't cheat. You get to see you can get a mud duck. She ain't gonna cheat on you. But ugly, you ain't got nothing to worry about.
No, you're funny. But yes, when I went to DR, I told myself I wouldn't go back because the women were so rude and nasty, but they're really nice to the men. But ultimately, I think they think that we're there to take the men, and then vice versa. If your wife was here, I'm pretty sure the women here think that she's coming to take the men.
Where in DR were you at, man? Ask.
I went to Santo Domingo.
Really? I
Yes.
never. I mean, I can't say that your experience was like that. I'm sorry. I've just never have seen it. I've never seen that.
Hmm.
It could be it. I'm always in Santo Domingo. I've just never seen them deal with black ladies. Yeah, I've never seen it.
Yeah. Honestly, I would say every place I've been, with the exception of Europe, the women were really mean, but they're always nice to the men, though.
But do you think that's just a woman thing? Because women, you guys compete on a different type
Mm.
of level. You know,
Maybe. It may be that as a collective, yes, women are just naturally a little catty, so it could be that.
man, yeah, that's a little different. That,
Okay,
Mm.
okay. We got play with a passport, man. Welcome to the show.
that name lets me think that he ain't trying to get married. That brother is sipping with he pimping with a passport, sipping with a passport. Go ahead, brother.
Oh man, I appreciate you guys having me on the panel. Nah, actually, man, that name, I got that name, an experience I had out in Vegas, and she made a clear distinction between the players that were kind of behind the curtains and versus the players that were on the floor. And the distinction, well, the people in the back, those are the real players. Those are the ones that are getting hotels comped, private jets, um, the contacts, the people who are betting big on themselves. So that's actually where the name came from, player. And I thought that was pretty interesting when she made that distinction.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but man, you guys been hitting on some good points, man. I definitely like the fact that you guys aren't dragging American women.
Nah, man, there's no need for that. There's no need for that here, man.
Yeah, and
I think
making the
American
distinction.
women, and here's what I try to explain.
Yeah,
If I had my choice and I could find a good American woman, especially like you were saying, an African American woman, that'd be the first choice because we have so much in common. There's so many things that you don't have to explain that is
right.
just understood. It's just like, yeah, something happens and you ain't got to say, man, was that racial? She looks at you like, yeah, that's racial shit. You know how to back it up. You know how to do that. It's just that I think social media and other parts that play have put them in such a disadvantage where their priorities aren't the same anymore. It's just they're not looking for the same things.
Right. Right.
It's
Yeah,
not building. We're not building together. A lot of them don't want to build together. They just want to have as is, or you're going to do it all. And I have no problem if a woman says, "Hey, I want you to be a provider. I want you to do that." That's not an issue. But what they don't, on the flip side, say is, "Okay, well, since you are the provider and you're the protector, I'm the nurturer and this." They forget the second half of that. They just know the first half, what you're going to do, but they don't understand what their roles and responsibilities are.
very well said right there, man. I like the way you put that. That was very well said. And I gotta agree with you. I also like the fact that this whole idea that if you bring her back to the United States, she's gonna change. To me, that's the biggest myth that gets told in the travel space, because it goes back to what you had mentioned earlier, Fearless. Proper vetting, and
Yeah.
proper vetting is just really understanding the kind of woman that you are dealing with. And unfortunately, a lot of men aren't really taking the time to learn about the woman that they're dating, her history, her past, how she was brought up, just her core values, the core virtues of a woman. And so they have been misled to believing that if they bring her to the United States, she's going to change on them. And I tell guys all the time, man, if you bringing a female back to the States that you believe is going to change, you should have been dealing with her in the first place.
Thank you.
If she's
Let me ask
so
you
if she's so weak-willed, yeah, go ahead.
You're in the States, so I think this is where this might clear it up because this is where we go wrong. You're in the United States.
Right.
So
No. He's not from the United States. He's from Dade County.
No,
Nah, for West Palm.
He's from 305 Dade County, man. We are different beats, man. I know people think we're from the United States. We're from Dade County, man. We just move differently, man.
So let's say you down there in Dade County. You down in Miami, down there, right?
Dade County 305. What up?
You see a beautiful chick. She look good. You see her walking, and then you get kind of close to her. And she's like, yo, what's up? And she doing all this. You automatically know where you placed her at.
Right? Yes.
The problem is a lot of brothers don't speak that foreign language. So they don't know what proper English is. They don't they go to one place, so they don't know how to vet those women. Like in the United States, you can say, oh, she hood. You do that immediately. But they go there, they just see a pretty woman.
Right.
And they don't see anything else. They can't see the language she's speaking is hood. She's uneducated. None of those things they can see. They just see the face and the smile. And that's how, if we seen a chick that was just beautiful, but she was straight ghetto and hood, we wouldn't deal with her. But we deal with that overseas, and then we bring that back and then question why our results are so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, 100%. And once you start really moving around in these different countries, you're gonna start getting an understanding of what type of female is what. Like I can go to Colombia, and I can tell you within the first few minutes, immediately what type of female that I'm talking to.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just something that you pick up over time. That's not going to be something that you immediately get because, again, the language barriers, You know, people, for example, they use Poblado is the best neighborhood, but Poblado doesn't look like a neighborhood in the States. You know, you're not going into summer summer Summerlin neighborhood with the grass in the yards and the individual houses. So yeah, that's just something that guys will pick up over time. But unfortunately, as you said, Fearless, the majority of guys, they just fall in love completely with the physical appearance, and
Do you
they're
think it's
unwilling
that?
to do the work.
Do you think it's that or this? I'm gonna tell you this story, and I'm sorry to go back. Back in the time when I lived in Ohio, I used to have
I'm from
a
Ohio,
lot of rental properties. You from Ohio? Where you from?
Buckeye City.
But Columbus?
Yes, sir.
All right,
Upper
y'all
North
grew up
Side.
in Mexico. I went from where at?
Upper North Side.
Oh, the north. Ah, man, short north over there. Man, there's a
Nah,
chick. The, over there, right? North side, right?
Upper
Over
North
there.
Side.
Huh?
One six, Upper North Side.
Oh, you
161.
are 161. You up there?
Yeah,
I ain't nothing
yeah,
wrong with that. You know, they got brothers up there too. I'm from the east side over there. You know, with
yeah.
the east.
I got family all over. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing wrong with you up there. You know, I love to have a Buckeye. So, so all right, let's take that. Let's take where we at.
All right.
Buckeye. So you living in like Marion Franklin, and you living there. That say the rent is $600. Then you
Right.
go to Reynoldsburg, Grove City, or wherever. The rent can be $650. Right?
Right. Right.
Not much of a difference.
Right.
So when I'm renting houses out, I would notice that some people in the hood, they just couldn't leave the hood.
Yeah.
Even though it costs a minimal amount to go to the suburbs or go to a really nice place that had a better education, better school, they
Right.
just felt comfortable being in the hood.
Right.
Now, what I want to ask you is, do you think that there's brothers who are just comfortable dealing with the ghetto chicks in other countries? The
Yeah.
304, they can't go outside of that.
Yeah. 100%. Infinity percent. You know, infinity percent, because a lot of men, they're not growing they're not growing as men, homie. I know dudes that's 50 plus years old, man, down in Medellin running around like 18-year-olds. You know what I mean? But as far as, you know, you're going to attract who you are. You're going to attract what you are, right?
Mhm.
So if you a hood rat dude, not a hood rat dude. If you a hood dude, but you're not a hood dude that's growing, you go out the country, you're going to deal with hood rat females. Now you could deal with females that's moving in the direction of bettering themselves if you yourself are a hood dude and you're bettering yourself, because you're planting that seed and you're doing the work needed to move in that direction. And so when you're putting in the work of just bettering yourself as a human being, you're going to begin attracting what it is. You're going to begin attracting the best version of yourself along the way. Did that make sense? I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, I want to ask Lucame this question then. Lucame, have you ever seen guys who I want to say intimidated by you? Would that be the word? Yeah, that'd probably be the word.
I don't think I'm intimidating. No.
No, but all right, just say how you are. There's guys like, yeah, I can't talk to her. She's not on my level. Or they talk to you and you're like, yeah, he's not on my level.
Wait, could you ask the last part again?
Guys that are not on your level that approach you to say either they're scared to approach you, or when they do, you can tell that y'all just ain't on the same level. It's like, yeah, this wouldn't work.
Believe it or not, I don't get approached that much.
Really?
Well, by white men the most, but yeah.
Shout out to the white brothers in the house. Ain't nothing wrong with them. They know what they want. See, here's the crazy part. When you said that, that's sad.
Yeah, I
Because
get
you grew up
approached
with a
most by white.
traditional, soft-spoken woman, and it would seem as though that's what the black man would go to. But it takes a white man to approach you because they can see the value in you. that we can't. We would rather go with the scum of the earth, the ugly girl, the 304, the drama, because we've been so conditioned to drama. We would rather go with that and go with somebody nice. That's a sad
Mm,
thing for us.
I mean, of course, I've gotten approached by black men. I've dated black men, but as a collective, I get approached. I've always got approached the most by white and Latina men. Yeah, I mean, I would love to belong to a black man, but ultimately, I guess I have to like who likes me.
Yeah, I start sharpening my fangs.
Wow.
and I think that's what we do. We are intimidated because I know guys that just
Right.
won't talk to those type of girls. It's just they feel that they're either out of their league, they're not easy enough, there's too much work.
Exactly.
That's how it is, and it's a sad thing that we go through, and we get what you pay for. You know, that's bad.
It's interesting because black men say they want a certain type of woman, and then when they see them, I don't know, maybe they could be scared. I don't know. I'm not a man.
But I think it's on both. I'm not all right. I'm gonna get on my black men, but let's get on the black women because the black women will say, "I want a strong, man," and then when they get it, they don't want that because they can't deal with that.
Yes.
They can't deal with that type of that alpha feeling that strong man. They just can't. They get intimidated, or it's just too much for them.
Yes.
Let's see. Has says, I'm a Hispanic male. I dated black women. So he wanted to go with that African skin. Ain't nothing wrong with that, brother. Tacos and sweet yams, that's all go together good. Most are surprised when I approach them because Hispanic guys rarely approach black women. I wonder why that is. I wonder why Latino brothers don't. Do y'all feed into the stereotype? You think they got an attitude?
Hey, take that sarcasm out your voice.
No, I'm wondering why the Hispanic dude don't approach black women. I thought, black women they built big. What's the issue? I don't know what the issue is. I'm serious. I don't know what the issue is.
I think it's more of a cultural thing, but also it all depends what type of Hispanic. Because Hispanic could be Afro, he could be European Hispanic, so it really depends. Because we all know across all of Latin America they're black folks, and even in Argentina. So like it really depends because they may want to attract a black woman. When we say black women, they're probably speaking of African American women. But again, sometimes it's just their culture is different, but they still attracted to them.
Correct.
I know a lot of Mexican men that like black women, but it's just like through the culture differences, they can only just admire from afar.
Okay, hey, y'all been real nice this whole night. I'm about to push back on the panel.
Hey, I got in trouble last week. Canal said when I just turned up too much, I went too long. I made him and Maya, man. I'm surprised.
No,
I turned it up.
And it's not even on Lash. It's on YouTube. YouTube Brothers.
Go ahead.
What we doing?
I'm pushing back on YouTube Brothers.
I know, brother. I can always.
Okay. You're telling these guys right now, from what I'm hearing this whole couple hours, you shouldn't be bringing back women to the United States. Yet and still, the two brothers that are saying that, one is married to a Dominican, one is engaged to a Dominican. Y'all have brought your women back to the United States.
Yeah, we did.
Okay. So let's not talk about the negative part of that.
You're gonna think.
Don't interrupt my flow. Come on, man. Come on. Y'all done talked this whole time about, you shouldn't do these things. Now let's talk about why you decided to. And let's tell the brothers on what they should be looking for in that woman that you do want to bring back, whether it be permanently, whether it be temporarily.
Okay.
Let's talk about vetting. Let's talk about the real issue here.
All right.
I'm gonna a little
let me
bit.
say something. Let me say something first. Before I fucked up and pressed the wrong button and ended the live stream, my apologies. I already finished my one bottle. I'm on the second bottle right now. That was our plan. That was our initial plan, to talk about the negative first, to draw people in, then move on to the positive. But if you really paid attention to the podcast, we were actually giving you guys the best way to do it within the negative. So, I mean, if you paid attention, Roland,
I paid attention, brother,
you would have caught that on.
and I'm guilty.
So, okay, all right, man. So my thing is that,
be 2 hours in. Let's go to the positive.
all right. So here's the thing.
Before we get there, I'm gonna drop a gem from me. So tomorrow morning, I'm gonna be on with Andre and Andrea.
Yeah, I saw that. Congratulations.
That's one thing we're gonna talk about. But here's the thing to hear it, and I'm gonna say this. The reason I say that is I work a high-level 6-figure job. And there's some people that say, I would love to have a 6-figure job. And I say, I don't know if you want that. Because there's no such thing as a 9 to 5. You get off and you're doing this. Everything goes beyond that. That 6 figures is I'm putting in work socially. I'm going to events. I'm always networking. I'm always out. A lot of people can't handle that. There's times like even this weekend, there's a project that somebody sent me that I couldn't fix. And this was like at 2:00. I'm like, damn, I can't fix this. So you know what I'm gonna be doing this weekend? I don't get paid by the hour.
Right.
You just do it. So I'm gonna be working on that this weekend. I'm gonna be taking care of that. So it's a great reward. But when people say, I want this, I'm saying, yeah, you just like this. I'm gonna tell you an example. I want a beautiful, fine woman. Brother, no, you don't. Because you know what come along with that? You come along with brothers always getting on you. You got to keep her up. You got to maintain this. So we say we want that. So that goes back to the show. We say you want to bring a girl back. There's some implications as to why not everyone should do that. You may wish to, but it's not going to be in your best interest. It takes a special chemistry to get there.
Thanks.
And those two guys, it's okay if you want to just travel and bang out. Dude, there's nothing wrong with that. You being a man. There's nothing wrong with that. That's something if you made a decision that, you know what, I have no desire to get married. I have no desire to have any kids. I just want to go out and have fun. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you lying to yourself thinking that you want to get married and have a family with a foreign woman, you need to be honest with yourself because it is a lot of time and effort that goes into it.
Mm-hmm. So you want to say why bring one back? We can switch to that. That's not a problem. But I'm going to ask Lumi.
What?
A lot of guys go across the seas because they looking for some sexual fantasy. Is that why women travel? What y'all travel? You go over there for? I'm just wondering. You know, you going over there for the culture? You going over? What do y'all travel for?
No, I don't think we go for sexual pleasures because men over here are easy and we can just have sex with them if we wanted to. I go for fun, ultimately. It just depends on where do you go. Most women go to Jamaica.
Oh, don't do the now. Don't go Jamaica. Come on. You know what's going on down there.
I have a question for Lumi. I have a question.
Yes.
And again, you don't need to answer it. Have you ever hooked up with a guy during your travels overseas?
No, but when I lived in Europe, I dated, of course.
Okay. Do you think women do hook up with guys while overseas?
Honestly, no, because we don't really. How can I say this? The men overseas really don't spark our interest because they're so aggressive. If that makes sense, like Jamaica, DR, Colombia, they're really aggressive. Every place I've been, I was actually scared of the men.
Because you know what they do? Here's the thing. Like I was in Jamaica for a long time. And I would ask the dude, I remember I was with this dude, he said, look, the cruise ship comes. Or if somebody comes on vacation, they there for 7 days, maybe 4. You ain't got time to play around. So that cruise ship hits, so that plane lands, you want to clock. It's like I got 4 days or 5 days to hit this. And so we ain't got time. If you ain't down, you got to move on. It's like we hit. And so they really on to it because it's like a sales numbers game. It's Like I gotta get to what I can get to as fast as I can. If you're not with it, I'm not wasting these 4 days just to be your friend.
Yeah,
Right.
that makes sense. It makes sense.
Mm,
You know,
mm,
I think women go more so for the fun. Definitely not sex. Like I said, we can get sex in 5 minutes if we call the right person. So no.
Lord
Damn.
Jesus.
I'm gonna say this: when I lived in Miami, this is back in '96 to '99. Memorial Day weekend, women would come from all different states getting smashed up in Miami,
Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you.
Getting
and,
busted.
and it was too easy. Literally smashing on the beach, like on the sand.
Oh, yeah.
So I imagine that they probably evolved and took it overseas.
Mhm.
Mm.
Well,
I just
it
watched
probably
a
got
YouTuber. I just watched a YouTuber. He actually did a video on that specific topic on the streets. You know how these guys interview, and he asked most of the women that walk by. It's usually a couple women. He goes, when women go overseas or they go on vacation, a girls' trip, out of the women that go, how many of them are actually cheating? High ratios. 75 to 90% of those women in that group are cheating
Mm.
when they take a trip. Don't believe the hype. They're cheating.
Yeah, a lot of them cheat.
Mm.
'Cause I slept with several married women.
Go ahead, fess up now.
No,
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, hey, it is what it
bottles
is. I
in
mean,
now. You 2 bottles in.
again,
Go ahead.
living in Miami, there is a lot of benefits, especially during the '90s in Miami. Man, look, everybody was coming down to Miami to party, so it was like people were just down for whatever. And you'd be amazed. You can meet a girl at the bar and go to the beach and smash up. You don't need no hotel room. Take it to the beach.
Brother, I'm
That's
hoping
it, man.
I'm not in that new movie they bringing out because I've been to Atlanta doing Freaknik for years.
I wasn't there yet.
And boy, there was some time. Now, Milano says, I heard the Brazilian men are super aggressive toward women. Actually, that is correct. But here's the thing. The Brazilian women want that.
Yeah.
They feel if you're not, that's like part of a man. They want a man to come. They're only looking at them shy. That is like a turn off. They like the man who says, this is what I want and I'm going for it. Direct, he's focused, he has confidence. That's what turns them on.
But Felix, do you think every woman, regardless of their race and their location, want that type of man? They want
absolutely.
that alpha,
They want that
control,
machismo,
that
alpha
50 Shades
male.
of Grey, 50 Shades of Grey, wrap me up, tie me up, spank me,
Yes.
spit on my face.
They don't want
They want that, man.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
That's what all those Harlequin romance novels were back in the day, and so on.
Man, look.
A YouTube a guy did it where he was dressed up in a white shirt, tee, glasses on, really respectful. Hi, how are you doing? I just like if I can get to know you. No. His ratio was 10% of getting women. Brother threw on a wife beater, some shorts. It just came like, what's up? You look good. I need that number. They're like, okay, no problem. It's crazy how they take that mentality up.
Well, I know in Colombia, you gotta walk I don't want to say walk a thin line because at the end of the day I would tell anybody just to be yourself. But the women in Colombia, you absolutely need to be, all man. But you also need to be a gentleman. And when you get in that bedroom, you absolutely need to be on demon time. You know what I mean? So I think there's just a fine line that again, some people can walk and some people can't walk. But I think the machismo, when they say that, it's more of like it's like man times 100. You know what I'm saying? It's like the machismo. That means like just that extra. They're not with the extra. You know what I mean? But if you just straight, if you just a man and you a gentleman, right? And when you get up in that bedroom, you 50 Shades of Grey, it's a wrap.
Man, that's that telenovela kind of passion they want to see. They watch those telenovelas, and that's what they want to see from their man every once in a while, especially in that bedroom.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, Louis, do you like a man with some confidence just to grab you around the neck and then, what's your name?
No, absolutely not. I
I don't
don't.
believe you.
I
I
don't believe
don't.
it.
No, I like masculine men, but I don't like aggressive men.
No, but aggressive in the bedroom. Tie you down, throw on some
A
straps,
passionate
put that
aggressive.
I
blindfold
think
on you.
I
He's not
I
know
think
beating
y'all
you
that.
using the wrong word.
Right.
You should be saying
Passionate.
she. There you go.
Passionate.
Oh,
You took the words
They
right out of
very
my mouth.
passionate, man. Not like he's grabbing
Right,
you and choking you out. Obviously, if that's not what you into, he's going to be sensitive to that, but he's going to be
mm,
passionate.
right.
He's going to know
um,
right what spots to hit and when to hit them, just
maybe
by the
Blood
way
in his
his
passionate,
body
but
veins.
moves.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just not sexually experienced enough. I don't think about like
Oh, gee.
ropes and chokes. I
Oh,
don't
wow.
know. No, I'm not there
Is
yet.
it just me?
No,
Is
bro.
it
She
just
was like
me?
this last week too. She's very like low key. Very.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I
speaking from
respect it.
experience, a lot of
I'm
women
just
love that.
saying.
They love that take control, ultra
Mhm.
aggressive man because
Right,
especially if she's a power broker type of woman, boss
right.
chick type of woman, dude. When she in, like behind closed door, she expect you to lead.
She
She
need a
expect you to
release.
dominate. Yeah. So it's
Mhm.
just like
Yeah.
she wants to embrace her woman nature. And the thing is, a lot of guys don't know how to pull that out.
How to
So
activate them.
mhm.
That's why a dude in jail who locked up
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
can get your woman. He can get a security. He can get the correctional officer because he like, bitch, come here. What are you gonna lose? That's just what they accustomed to. They enjoy that masculine energy to go. Now Milano, don't be getting on Lumi. We done had
Here
that
come
last week.
another one.
Everybody
Yeah.
trying to go home and get
Trini
a
was
number
Trini
and
was
try to
doing it
corrupt
last
you.
week.
Little
Now here
woman.
come Milano. She's
Don't
from
be trying to
ATL.
corrupt
She's in
this
the
little
ATL,
woman.
brother.
One
She's
of
in
you.
the ATL.
Yeah, she's from the ATL, but we her location.
No, I'm from
She's
Detroit.
from Detroit, but she lives in ATL.
Yeah.
No, she's not African. She's actually American Indian, not Native American. American Indian. And
Yeah.
English is not her first language. It's actually the language of her tribe.
Algonquian.
Yeah,
You
see,
guys
I was
also. I was gonna say also, man. When it comes to Latino women, um, that culture is a very um, they're very strong in character,
Mhm.
meaning that
Yes.
they are a passionate culture. They are a culture of soul
mhm.
and depth
Mhm.
and range. When you speak to them, they speak with a certain type of conviction,
Tonality. Yep.
and
Yes.
so a lot of men a lot of men in Colombia, they just, well, not local men but men traveling, they don't, a lot of, well, I'm sorry, a lot of American men just do not have strong conversation skills, and they
Mhm.
don't have the ability to connect with another human being on a deeper level,
Yeah.
because a lot of things nowadays are, I call it microwave macking. Just want to hurry up and get to it, hurry up and get to it. So when you lack those conversation skills and those communication
Mhm.
skills, you're unable to connect with another human being on a deeper level. But when you connect with that woman on a deeper level, you're able to activate um, maybe some triggers within her that may be dormant, or
Yes,
that
sir.
even may be alive, but they're not getting um, kind of like a seed or a plant. It's not getting the proper nutrition,
Mhm.
Right.
right?
Right.
But
Right.
once you connect with them on that deep level and you start activating those different elements within her, you're gonna not only truly understand the kind of woman that she is, but um, I guess in the bedroom it's gonna be a passionate session. I say it
Right.
like that.
But that also goes to learning how to read a room, which means
Exactly.
learning how to read the person that you're talking to,
There
carrying a
you go.
conversation. When there's a pause, it could be an uncomfortable pause, or it could be a pause of, I want you to say more on the subject. You gotta know how to read a woman from her speech, her body language, to the way she's moving, because she ain't gonna tell you everything. You need to know.
Speak on it, Ronan. There you go.
I can
And
share
I
this
think
story. I
I think what they call is it's that's why they call him a Latin lover. I think that even the Latin women, what they don't like is the fact that their men feel they can never be wrong. They even know their men cheat. Here's the difference with a Latin man. He put whomever his woman is first. He don't talk about it. That's how it is. He may cheat and do whatever else, but it's a respect within that culture. Like, I'm gonna respect my wife. I'm gonna do this. They know that he out there doing it on the side. It's just that's customary. You're gonna be getting it on the side. You're gonna be doing all those other things, but it's how they treat their women. It's how they treat the people they with. It's an entirely different thing. They don't play the same game that we do.
Right.
To be honest, I think, and I'm again, you guys could push back on this, but I think a lot of American men, particularly brothers, don't have the confidence to do things overseas to meet a certain type of woman, because let's just keep it real. Most black men who are traveling are mainly introverts, and they just, first time making this money, first time with a passport, first time being around beautiful women, so they don't know how to act. So they're very gullible. But if a guy, if you were to take a Pookie or Ray Ray from the streets that used to attracting women in the States, he wouldn't have any issues attracting women overseas, because his swag, his attitude, all that stuff matters. As much people say it doesn't matter, it does matter.
A Pookie or Ray Ray though, black man travels.
No, I'm saying like the swag of a Pookie and Ray Ray.
There was something I wanted to bring up.
No, I'm just saying these are the ones that just don't give a fuck.
Right.
And a lot of women find that attractive.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna shoot my shot with it no matter what. I'm gonna go ahead and say some wild shit to your ears, and eventually I'm gonna convince you to like me.
Right.
And let me help Armando out. He says, I only asked you guys about I guess Lumi, because you're getting the answers you're not expecting. No, we're expecting it. If you know her last week's show, we was a 5-hour podcast, and we were on everything, so we kind of know.
We know her very well now. Yes, she's very.
So we kind of know what we about to expect when we ask the
she's
question.
Very atypical. Let's put it that way.
Correct. So let me ask you a foreign person that lives in the DR or lived in the DR. Yanil, you here? So, our question is, should you bring him back? So, ask that. Did you want to come to the United States? That's one. And then tell me about the difference, the challenges in coming to the United States. And then on top of that, if you could tell me how, your perception of how the men in your country are.
One question at a time. You make a lot of questions at the end.
All right.
But the first one was, I think, if I want to come to the States.
Yes.
No, really, because at that time, I have a stable job. I already have my profession. I have my own vehicle, my place that now is renting. I have to store all my stuff, all my belongings, and just move here with a little 2 luggage. That was my life. My whole life was in those luggage and a little backpack. There's a challenge to start all over when you was already success in my country of what I'm coming from.
Makes sense.
And one thing to keep in mind, and I want to piggyback to what she said, is true. When someone has to leave her country, especially if she has something that's already established, she has to get rid of everything. She's literally starting all over again. So if she has a car, she has a steady job. She's leaving her steady income. She's selling her furniture. Let's say she has her own apartment.
I have my
see.
Now it's renting, and even if renting, nobody going to take care of your belongings when you also.
Yeah. So it's a lot. It's not as easy as everyone wants to say it is. Oh, she just want a green card, or he just want a green card. Depends on the person you meet. If a person has nothing, then they want a green card. But someone who has some type of a status in their country, they're not really trying to leave they're not trying to leave their country to come to the U.S.
And my thing is, and I always hear about this. People always say, "Oh, you want to come to the United States because you want the." Can you hear me clear?
Yeah, we can hear you clear now.
Can you hear me good?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
because I have to come to the other room because then we're going to do feedback, fearless and I. Um, the thing is, I lost my focus. What I was saying. Oh, I don't understand this point that people that you hear all over social media about. Oh, they're bringing her to the states. Like marriage is a risk, which
Yeah.
means you can be married now, but then what happens if your partner die and the more catastrophic scenario they want to put? Or what happens if after 2 years we find out we're not happy? I mean, it's a big challenge and a big step that we make when we move here because it's not the same, oh, you come visit, you maybe spend 1 month together. Yeah, we in Airbnb, but basically you come to visit, but you most part of the time on vacation. I don't know who you are in real life. I don't
Right.
know how you acting, and living together is like, it's two different people because the reason we're together is because we know the same. If we the same, think the same, do the same things, we've been boring as a couple. We
Facts.
attracting people that are different than we are. So why so afraid about, oh, don't bring somebody, don't marry. Even if you marry here in the state, you can divorce in 1 week. We have a friend in Ohio that he divorced. He was married for a week and he divorced and was like, oh my goodness. They look really good together. They make a great couple. What's going on? Nobody knows. They keep it in secret. But life is about that. You cannot live by fear. What if? What if? What if? Just live the moment.
But I guess the question always becomes the woman is going to come to the United States and change. So did you
Right.
change?
I
Did
mean,
you change, or what? Why do you think that you hear that they're going to change? Or friends that have changed?
I don't I don't change because I have my own personality, a strong personality, and I know who I am.
Right.
Why I need to change because I get when you know who you are and where you're going in life, you can hang with anybody. And if in your mind you know that's not the way you wanna go, it's no way that person nobody around you can change you. It depends on you. So I don't
Yeah.
change. I think I become better person. Now I speak 3 language. I make more money than what I was doing in DR. Yeah, I miss my family, of course. I miss my country, yes. The be 30 minutes close to the beach, absolutely. But I take my decision. I want to have a family. Have a family and being a wife was most important to me to be successful in the professional way I was in DR.
Mhm. If I
All right,
can,
fearless. All right.
uh,
I
if I
tell you, brother.
can, I I was on a panel one day, and I was talking to the fellas about um again, vetting. And one thing that people, I'm sure you guys have noticed when you are doing your live streams, or if you've been on different panels, is that you begin to learn some. I'm sorry, you can hear certain things in that person's personality through their communication, through their dialogue. And I was telling guys that when you're out the country, I always say Colombia because I'm just familiar with Colombia to the max. But I was telling guys, man, when you in the countries, man, you got to um I tell them to use the 7 virtues of a woman as kind of like a map, right? Um to kind of help guide you as far as vetting, right? But every time I brought that up, dudes always, oh man, I ain't trying to get married. It's like, homie, it's not about trying to get married. It's about you need a map because clearly what you've been doing to vet ain't working, right? And so the 7 virtues of a woman, when you're speaking to a woman, you can hear if she's a woman that has dignity. Um, Through the conversation, you can hear if she's a woman that has patience, a woman that has diligence, a
Right.
woman generous. She's got generosity, a woman with courage. You can hear the wisdom, the devotion, all these things you can start to hear in the conversation. But again, as I stated before, a lot of American men just lack the ability to converse, and they lack they lack the range and the depth in communication overall. And so those are things that they can do to to help guide them as far as, is this a woman that I trust enough to bring back to the United States, right? Because I can sit here and I can say with complete confidence, the women that I deal with in Colombia, I could 100% feel comfortable bringing them back to the United States and not worrying about somebody changing, because if a woman has these virtues instilled in her, right? If this is who she is at the core of her, just because you uproot her from one country to another country, she's not going to lose that, because that's who she is.
Exactly.
And I think he has to go back to family. I'm gonna ask Miss Yanil something. I know that you got on the phone with your mother, and you was asking her, or your mom asked you a question about who get their plate first. So can you tell
Yeah.
me?
Because the thing is, I speak with my mom 5 times a day, maybe more, honestly. But that's the way we keep in the relationship close. And I was eating my lunch yesterday because I get out of work early, and she was like, "Why you eating lunch? Where is my husband food?" And I was like, "Mom, the first food that I serve it before I even sit down and eat is his food." Well, and then why you eat it by yourself? And I have to go all the way to the room and ask, "Hey, can you tell my mom who food um I fix first?" And he was making jokes, and she was
Like, you
taking
fix
serious
yours
because
for yourself. I don't get
it
my
was
food
by,
unless it's cold.
yeah, it was by FaceTime, and he making jokes, and she taking serious because I was like, "Hey, tell him the truth." So when I get out the room because he was in a meeting, she going on at me, and I said, "You've been fighting and say all these things to me for no reason when I already told you." He just joked. No, he was serious, and I'm like, he was making a fun of you. And even today, she was the same thing. I said, "Mom, I never leave the house with no making the breakfast, leave the lunch ready, and come back home and do dinner. What are you talking about?" But that's the expectation because that's the way I was raised.
And
That's
when we
all.
go back to what Buck was saying, you know, who in that girl's family is holding her accountable? You know, who does that? Who is saying, hey, who is her guidance? If she's around trash,
Correct.
who's going to take her? If her mom was scandalous, what do you expect? You have to have somebody who is held accountable by a lot of people. So, example, if you want to lose weight or you want to get money, the first thing they say is tell somebody else. Why? Because they're going to, why aren't you losing weight? Are you still fat? If you say you're going to work out, somebody else is going to hold you accountable to doing that. And I think when they get with these renegade mud ducks, they don't have somebody who holds them accountable, because it's that ghetto mentality. Whether you in these states or you
Mhm.
other somewhere else, it's what can I do to get over on someone. If you're finding that, that's going to be your luck anyway. I
Let
just
me say this real quick. Let me say
And
this real quick because you guys keep on hitting on it, but you're not really bringing it out to a lot of people. Okay, here in the United States, you have so many different cultures, so many different races. Right now, even in our culture, you deal with
can
racism.
hear you. Go ahead. Go start all over again, Roman. You
Okay,
got it
so
blanked out.
sorry, my mic keeps going up and down for some reason. I'm trying to hold it on point. But in the United States, the first thing we deal with in our culture is racism. Okay. And a lot of other cultures, there are but one race. It's that race of people that live in that country, whether it be, Dominicans, whether it be Colombians. So then it becomes classism. So we deal with racism first, then classism, even within our own races versus other races in competition. So when you go on overseas, you got all these little things you're battling in your head. These cultures are only looking at two quality things about you as a man: how you carry yourself, how you conduct yourself as a man, and are you holding yourself accountable to what you say and what you do? Are they reflective of each other? That starts to show your class.
Correct.
You guys going over there acting like you are the lowest class of individuals is what gets you going down the wrong road. Okay? Because these cultures pay attention to classism. They don't care about your skin tone at first. Care how you carry yourself. Okay? And a lot of things can be overcome by the way you carry yourself. You can look somebody in the eye, you can say certain things with a certain tonality of meaning it. They take you for your word.
Ronan, you know when I knew I was out of my class in this sense? Every time I would go to DR, I have on my tennis shoes and stuff. And I would always see the shoe shine boys saying, "You want your shoes shine?" I'm like, I got tennis shoes. And then I started looking around to every Dominican. I'm like, these brothers are wearing hard suit shoes.
Right.
They dressed up a whole different way. And I said,
Exactly.
that's crazy. So that they're in a whole professional way. And I'm never looking like that. I said,
and that's the way they're judging us when we go over there. You guys are not dressing to the cultural standards. So you're already starting off at a lower level. And some of those women that are at that higher class aren't even going to look your direction because you're coming incorrect right off the bat.
Yeah. Hey, you know
you
what?
Guys keep hitting on it, and I believe you and Yanel, you guys are saying it, but you're not really saying it. So I'm putting it out.
No problem. And I want to ask, Houston says something. Houston says correct. It's I think she left. I wanted to ask her. It's a different situation when they get around Western women.
I don't believe so.
Change will develop. No. So I'm going to ask. This is a question for Lumi. She's the only female on here right now. Do you change when you get around other women? I mean, do those Western cultures, or I'm not going to take care of it, does that change you? Do they make you more not want to be in your feminine?
No, I don't think so.
All right, I'll ask Yanil the same thing. So Yanil, the question is, the gentleman is saying, when you come to the United States, you're good around Western women, and then they change you. Have you felt that Western women have changed you? I think you're on mute.
Is a question for me?
Yes.
Oh, I don't think so, because the thing is, when I moved to the States, all my friends was African American, because I can work when I move here, and I start going to school as a volunteer, or I can be proactive and I can, get out the house. And all my friends was African American women. Most of them divorced or been through the divorce. Some of them married for 30, 40 years. And I pick advice for the good ones, for the ones was in the same page that I was and I am at this time of my life.
So you didn't hang around a single women? You wasn't around a single women?
Yes.
So they didn't change you? I know a lot of times the one thing they say is, I thought you was married to a white man.
They think I was married to a white man. That's right. But also they don't change me, because again, I know who I am and I know my values and where I'm coming from. And it was in no way where I changed my personality for be part of the group. I don't know, just follow what they say. I always think, if I think what you are saying is not right to me, I will say in your face. I don't need to pretend for be nice, or you think, oh, I like her, or just agree with you. That's never going to happen with me.
So I think it's, and that goes back to what Buck was saying. I think it's if you marry a weak woman who can be influenced by the culture she's around, I mean, what can you expect? You still have to have, when I hear women say I'm a strong woman, what I mean is, what I want to take it as, it's not like that in the United States. I want to take it as, I'm strong in my values, I'm strong in my tradition, I'm strong in my roots. That's strong to me. That's what it's supposed to mean.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm just saying, man, I'm over here. I'm getting the Holy Ghost over here. Yeah. Yeah, man. They're strong. They're strong. They're strong in who they are, and like they're not going to change. And I'm glad that she said that, because that literally blows up that whole myth.
Correct. I'm not sure what
And
Milan was saying.
but that's the whole thing that you went back to, is saying vetting your woman. Knowing the stock that she comes from is very important. Knowing that she can't be changed or influenced by outside influences like social media and other things. Those are the
Yeah,
things you do when you're vetting a woman to be married. Is you're looking at those types of things, and you should be able to be a good judge of character, especially if this is the woman you're trying to put your stamp on. It's going to represent you once she's here.
100%. And no woman should be your girlfriend that's not wife material. I'm a big believer in that.
Even a wife, she shouldn't be your girlfriend. She should already be a wife.
Mhm.
You just need to marry her.
Well, hey, I mean, you can juggle. That's another subject.
Hey,
But, you can
the one
juggle.
with
You know
the
what I'm
player on
saying?
your name, okay? You the one with the player on your name, not us.
Hey, hey, hey. You know, anybody, if you're pursuing a woman, those are things that you need to be. Those are things you need to be looking at. I'm in 100% agreement with that. Whether it's one woman that you're dealing with or three women you're dealing with, um, those are just, again, you should be a good judge of character, and you should be able to say, I'm sorry, you should be able to see, who this person really is. And most men don't do that because they're just looking at how good a female looks, and they get blinded by it, because I think Black Man Travel said it earlier. They're 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 not even used to dealing with with a certain type of woman. Um, but when they get out the country, they they're they have access to a lot of beautiful women, but to what Fearless was saying earlier, they don't understand how to tell what type of woman that they're dealing with because of language barriers, et cetera, et cetera. They just see that she's pretty, but they don't know that she may be living over in the worst part of Bayo. But man,
Right.
she looks really good. You know
But
what I'm
player,
saying?
people want to know. Player. People want to know.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, you and your state of life right now, you're not looking necessarily to get tied down. But the woman
Well, I'm
you
not going to say that.
Well,
My,
wait.
my, my,
You dating with purpose, okay? Whether you're dating with purpose right now or not, what I'm going to ask you is, would you feel bold enough, knowing your choices and your judge of character, would you bring your woman, whether she was a foreigner or not, back to the United States, either to visit so you can show her around what the United States experience is, or to live?
100%. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, 100%. No problem. I
By the
wouldn't have
way,
a
how
problem with
old
that
are
either.
you? How old are you, player?
45.
Okay. See, there's an age group that goes along with this that we're talking about right now. You get what I'm saying? Once you get a little bit older, you get a little bit better at judging character.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. I
And
mean,
you
I've
know
got,
what you're looking for in a woman by now. You should, as
yeah,
an older man, you should know what you're looking for.
But the thing
yeah.
is, like a lot of guys who are traveling, so-called looking for wives, based on the bullshit narrative that they keep pushing out there, they're going to the places where the pros are.
Exactly.
So they use their experience with pros to completely generalize the total population of that country.
Mhm.
Which we all know, sitting on this panel, that's not true.
Yeah. So in my case, like I could share this. I'm bringing my girl here with my son.
I know you are.
I decided to, because I don't want my son to be raised in Dominican Republic. It's like, no, I want him to be right here next to me. So I have full control of his growth.
You want him bilingual? I guarantee you that.
He's gonna be trilingual. I'm
Bilingual,
Haitian.
yeah. French, yeah.
I'm Haitian. She's Dominican. It's crazy. I'm Haitian. She's Dominican, and
Right.
speaking in an English household. But my thing is that when we decided, hey, we're gonna have a child together, we both decided we're gonna have a child together because we knew, like, hey, she's coming from a strong family. She went to school. She understands that she has her own place. She has a job. So these are things that I look for. It was not beyond the pretty. Yes, she's gorgeous, but that only goes so far.
Correct.
And after, like, we're now pushing 9 years.
Congratulations.
9 years together.
Congratulations.
So when I hear these guys talk about relationship, I'm like, bro, one, you never show any receipts of you having a relationship. Two, you're literally going to all the pro destinations.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, they
So
are.
how can you speak on something that you have no experience of?
What you saying that I gotta address new free mixtape, because that's the most asinine thing I've ever heard. And your statement there lets me know that you a simp and you don't get chicks. It says expecting people to vet a different culture is Chinese arithmetic. There's one thing that's universal. The way what women want and how they act is universal, it's biological.
Right.
If you can, I can step off a place in any country and I can tell the type of woman is good and the type of woman is bad.
Facts.
Right.
Look at her, how she carry herself, how she acts. That's just, as a man, I can see that. Just like a woman can look at any foreign man. It don't matter if you foreign or local, and tell if you're a masculine man, if you're about your business, the way you dress. That's why they can look you down and say, them shoes is all jacked up. He ain't about his business. The same way I can look at a chick anywhere in the world and I can vet her. Just off of the first glance, the way she carries herself, I can go to the club and say, she's not the one, she's a hoe, she's this. I can do that. I don't know how you can't. I don't know how. Maybe that's where the issue comes, where you're not getting the girls. But a real man, in 2 seconds, I can look at it. Just like if I'm in the States, I can look at a chick up and down and be like, yep. In my first words, I can put her in a box, whether I'm gonna hit it, whether it's long term, or whether I just got to figure it out. But right then and there, I know by the way she's replying back. I know by her feedback. I'm already gazing into her head. So it don't matter what language she speaks. I can tell when I take her out somewhere. I can tell how she's carrying herself. I can tell how she walks. Yeah. All of those things come up. So maybe the issue is you are not able to vet a woman, and that can be the issue. And a lot of brothers don't know how to vet women. Y'all don't know what a real woman is. Y'all don't know what a good woman is. And those are the exact people that we talking about when we say the reasons not to bring a girl back, because you would make the wrong choice because you couldn't vet them correctly. You would go to the place where they shouldn't be. You would think that whatever they're doing is correct, and it's not correct. It's you're gonna get mind-blowing sex, and then you figure out why you cheat with everybody else having sex.
And tell it like it is. They're not going to correct them as a man. And as a man, it is your charge. It is your charge to instruct your woman.
Hey, can I reply to this comment with a new free mixtape? What I'm risking? Nothing, man. I want my son with me. I want my son to know his two brothers. He has a 20-year-old brother and he has a 12-year-old brother. My girl and I, we've been together for 9 years, man. Granted, I've been married before, divorced. And if I were to do it again, I'd do it again. And the thing is, like, look, so what? I pay child support. Fuck, it is what it is, man. I gave it a chance. Yeah, it's my child, it's my job. My kids are taken care of. If things don't work out,
then try to avoid child support.
Yeah, listen, I put myself on child support. And so I'll say this, man, and we had a long talk about this because I told her, hey, if things don't work out between us, look, we're gonna split in a good, positive way. I'll make sure you taken care of, the kids taken care of, and that's it. Dude, I'm 45, turning 46 next month. I refuse to stay in a relationship and not be happy. If I'm not happy, she's not happy, let's just break it off, get a divorce. Fuck it, we gotta split the house. I don't care. I'm not used to having a tangible thing, so I'm not attached to anything. And I say this, if things don't work out, man, look, I move overseas and enjoy the rest of my life in peace.
Let's say
I don't need to be in a relationship. Any
man sitting on this panel knows how to make money enough to make back whatever they can.
I'm not worried about losing. That's like when I hear
once you get to a certain level,
this,
when you know how to make money, that has nothing to do with it. That's a minute point of the overall process.
Like my thing is this: when I hear guys talk about the feminists and divorce laws, like, motherfucker, shut the fuck up, dog. You never been married. You never been in a long-term relationship. You don't know what it is to lose something. And the thing is, in most cases, not as bad as you think. And the way like guys try to think, like, dude, you're not making NFL money. You're not making NBA money. You paying simple $300 child support. What, the most you probably pay is $600?
Wow.
You bitching about that?
Wow.
Like, dude, it's your responsibility to take care of your kids, man.
Right.
Oh, that's why I laugh. Like, I hear these panels, man. Like, dudes just bitching and crying all the goddamn time. They have these long ass 7-hour long streams just crying about the system. Like, shut the fuck up. You think you're gonna go overseas and find a woman? Nah, dude, go ahead, stick to your Sasuas, stick to your clock tower, your Copacabana, Poster 5 beach. Stick to the pros.
Yeah.
Right.
Dude,
And you know, black man travels. You know, black man travel. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
One thing I don't understand is, if you look at, I think me and Kanal talked about this. When I look at my organization and I look at all the high above people, you know, there's a book I read, like everybody should read it, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. One thing he talks about is sexual transmutation. Most of all the successful people, they marry. You know why they marry? Because when you're not married, you out fucking around. You out trying to find some punani. It jacks up your whole career. Mike Tyson.
You wasting money.
Yeah, Mike Tyson was great until what? Who brought him down? Some women.
His wife.
Get around with him. When you want that goal and that's taken care of, you excel to a whole greater level. Now I would say this: your boy was mad. People was mad at what's it, Jeff Bezos, because he had to give all them billions away.
He made it back.
The thing is, with his wife, she probably took care of half the stuff for him so he could focus clearly on that. So he wouldn't have the billions if it wasn't somebody taking care of all the other needless stuff so he could focus on what he needed to.
See right there, that shows that a man has never had a woman that actually adds to him. By what you just said right there, understanding that factor, how important a woman is for a successful man. That's
so he also says splitting up your 401k in your 40s is going to have you working for the rest of your life.
That's why you don't know anything. You shouldn't even be in a
401k. I can show you right now, I put 37% of my income in because I don't have to spend it on other stuff. I'm good. If you're single, you out here trying to get this. I tried to add it up. You trying to hit this girl, you trying to go on a fucking, you trying to do that. You spending income just to get to the draws. You spend $2,000 to go to Sasua and that's just to get there. You got to pay for your hotel, drink, every chick that you fuck, all of that. That's your 401k.
Your
that's
clothes,
I'm gonna say this. You know what? I'm gonna keep it real. Motherfuckers out here dying before they get the chance to even enjoy their pension.
Yep.
So it's just like, yo, niggas talking about 401k or half of my savings. Like, dude, most guys don't even live long enough to enjoy their fucking retirement. Exactly. So when dudes talking about that shit, man, I'm like, dude, you don't know what the hell you talking about, because guess what? I know several dudes who died overseas by themselves, where they had to find their bodies 3-4 days later, decomposing while overseas. And guess what? These guys were making over $200,000 a year, and they died alone. So all this bullshit that motherfuckers, passport bros, blue book gentlemen, all that fuck shit, man. Listen, man, you guys don't know what the fuck you talking about, man. At the end of the day, find your peace. Find your peace, man. Because again, the thing is, people worrying about what's gonna happen in the next 10 years, 20 years. Dude, your ass may not live long enough to see tomorrow.
That's your first, second, and third priority. Find your fucking peace.
If that peace is a woman, is a wife, kids, that's your peace, man. That's why, like, dudes try to paint this. Oh, I'm traveling around the world. You got this nigga Austin Holland getting kicked out of almost every country, talking shit about every country. I'm like, this dude just stayed bitter at 23 years old. I'm like, bro, dude, find your purpose beyond traveling and bitches, man. That's all you can talk about. Like, learn a skill, because guess what? If YouTube were to go down, you fucked.
Yeah, you're gonna be right back in. You're gonna be in the United States cutting hair. That's exactly gonna be right back here cutting some hair.
Look at what's happening with TikTok. Waiting if they voted for TikTok to go down in America, what the hell you think a lot of people are gonna do?
Right.
They're gonna have
to
let
OnlyFans go. There's gonna be a lot of chicks coming back to the fold of OnlyFans.
Exactly. Y'all so reliant on social media and these digital fucking ways of making money. We lost. It's a lost generation out there, bro.
Yeah, you know, with all these things that are taking place in Colombia, I'm just sitting back. I'm just kind of smiling because I've always told these dudes like, yo, man, start shooting your jumpers. Get off of these, get off of these dating apps. Get off the dating websites. I'm not knocking them for doing that, but I've been telling guys, hey, man, get off of these dating websites and these dating apps, man, and start shooting your jumper. So now with all these things that are taking place in Colombia, I've always said, fellas, somebody like myself who who has the fundamentals, meaning I'm not afraid to go approach a woman, to go talk to a woman. I know how to converse with a woman. I said,
Right.
I'm going to always win in the long run.
Right.
I said, I'm going to always win, and you guys are going to be having to restart and reboot and the whole nine. I said, because you guys keep doing everything online. So
Right.
that's exactly what's taking place in Colombia now,
Right.
with all these different moves that the mayor is making.
Right.
It's shutting down these microwave Macs. They're shut down. But guess what? I'm still winning. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the
still
same
winning.
thing with making money too. Once you learn how to make money, the principles behind making money is not an issue.
Right,
Then you have to look at where else you're going to find your peace.
right.
Where
But
is
you
that
know, in
peace
American
gonna come?
culture,
It ain't going to
Ronan,
always be money.
yeah, in the American culture, Ronan, we're being told that men and women don't need one another. And you
Right.
have a lot of guys
And
traveling
that's
that actually
sad.
they actually believe that, right? They actually believe that, I don't need these, man, I don't need no
Right.
woman. No, man, you need a woman, right? The woman is your
Hmm.
if you a mob boss, the woman is your concierge,
Hello.
right? You may have the last say because you're the head of the household, but you need counsel.
Right.
But in the American culture, in the dating culture, we're being told that, man, I don't need no female. And if I do have a female, she need to do whatever I tell her to do. That's
Nah,
why you
man.
get these guys that lead with the wallet. And
Yeah.
they're leading with the wallet because they're trying to cover their shortcomings. But again, like Fearless said, like Black Man Travel said, actually like we've all said earlier, when you're dealing with a woman, you ain't gonna be able to cover up them shortcomings because a woman's gonna be able to see through that bullshit.
I'm gonna say this, man, and I'm gonna be a little vulnerable tonight because I've been drinking. I'm on my second bottle, so I'll probably be a little emotional here. Look, man, I'm gonna say this, man. I've dealt with depression. Sometimes I get in my own head and I kind of fall into a deep place. And I'm blessed to have a woman that can speak life into me.
Right.
Boom.
When them days that I'm just because again, I tend to overanalyze things for no reason. And guess what? She'd come rub my back like, listen, get out of your head. Go work out.
Right.
Go do something. And the thing is, it get to a certain point, man, listen, I could bang so many of that women, that don't mean nothing.
Right.
Versus when I know that person right there got my back, that's a whole different level. Again, guys, the relationship is not guaranteed. It's not. We may fall out of love, but guess what? I enjoyed my experience. I can say this to my ex-wife too. I enjoyed my time when things were good, but things didn't work out. But you know what? I got that experience. You got a lot of guys speaking on a relationship, never, ever experienced what I experienced.
Right.
They're going based on what they think people should hear. So, guys, if you're looking for that love, you got to put in work, man. It's what it is. It's not going to come easy. And this whole thing about you don't need a woman, it's all about the red pill and all this bullshit. Listen, I know guys again who died by themselves, body decomposing, where their body started to smell 5 days later.
They don't
Right.
understand, man.
They don't
died by,
Let me
they
ask you
died
that
by
real quick.
themselves.
Let
They
me
died
ask
by
you this
themselves.
quick.
And then
I'm
guess
gonna
what?
say-
They had all these assets, all this income. Guess where that money goes? With no kids. It goes to the fucking states.
Let me ask you that. As an insurance agent that has delivered life insurance policies, has set up trust funds for very wealthy individuals, all that hard work you built, your descendants don't give a fuck how they tear it up. Okay, they are going to destroy everything you worked so hard for. They're not going to have the same pride in anything you put into. Understand this. Who are you really working for? Because you're not working for your kids. Your kids are going to destroy what you set up as a legacy. They're not going to have any respect for it. especially if you're that type of man.
Right.
So I want to ask Miss Yanir. You know, they say that a lot of the black women, or just women here in general, I won't say black women, they say I don't need a man. So what's your opinion on that? Do you need a man? Do you know the
Who
men
you
need?
asking
Need
that
a
to?
man. I mean, I can work, I can make money, but at the end of the day, I want to feel protected. I want to feel the I have someone, like you know was saying, they have my back. Someone that I can come home and be accountable for me. Hey, I'm going through these. This happens to me. Um, and it's several things that we as a female team we try to equal ourselves with the men. Women can do everything, and this movement about being empowerment, empower woman. I don't understand this. I don't get it. We cannot reproduction. That's the right word by our own. We need a man for do that. If somebody breaking in the house, I cannot fight with another man. I need a man to protect me in the house. If something going wrong with my car in the middle of nowhere, what am I going to do? I need a man in my life. And I don't know how they so realistic about this. And I think the other guy, passport, I don't know his name, but the one with the hat, he was mentioned that they put that cheat in this culture about um, you don't need a man or you don't need a woman or you don't need nobody in your life. That is true. Because living in this country when the life is already lonely, it's not like in my culture, you're never alone at home. It's always somebody with you. Somebody come visit. It's a neighbor that call you. Hey, come here and have a coffee, or I cook it these dishes. This dish you want to try? Things like that. Here is like you coming from work and you don't have nobody at home waiting for you. You lonely. Anything can happen to you. Who's going to help you? And what kind of life is that? So why guys always think about what I get married? What are this? You cannot live in fear your entire life.
Well, that's the
That's for
thing. But,
weak men seems like that.
but
And I
that's
don't
Mm,
mean offending nobody. But
mm,
a real man go through the situation, go to the goals they want to achieve. If things don't working out, they will keep going. You don't going to see they will stop crying, oh, I should not. No, they will try the best or do it again better. So when I hear those things, it's driving me crazy because in my culture, you don't divorce unless if something extraordinary happens. You fight for your marriage. You
mm,
fight for stay marriage. You fight for your family.
mm,
Period. And if you try to divorce, the whole family will come to you and say, "Hey, but you should try counselor. You should go to talk to the pastor. You should talk him more. You should give him some space." And they will give to you all the solution for you don't go into that.
mm.
But everybody's different. Every situation is different as well.
my thing is this, and again, guys, I past 12 years traveling around the world. I monger. I went out, had a good time. I did everything, man. And
Right.
I would not replace the experience I had. I had a great time. I had an amazing time. I'm just at a different point in my life. So
Right.
that's why I would tell guys like, yo, just be honest with yourself. If you know you're not ready to be in a relationship, don't go to these countries, try to sell a dream that you're trying to promise these people like this is the life that you could give them, knowing that you just want to smash. Sometimes being transparent and honest with them, you can still get what you want.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So all this gaming, you need coaching, consultation, all this fuck shit. Man, bro, look, apply the same shit you do in the States, do it, take it overseas, man. That's it. Just make adjustment to it. That's
Right.
it. So
I'm
dudes
gonna
is
flip it. I'm gonna flip it for us, Kanal, because I know we've been
right.
talking about this, but I want to bring it home. As Ronan said it, we talked about the 5 reasons we shouldn't bring them back. I'm gonna say the 5 reasons we should with the same list that we had, and I'll
Okay.
make it quick. So cultural adjustment. It's nice when you can have somebody that you can learn from. Whole different culture. I get to try new foods. I get to try, all kinds of new things. those are things that I'm not accustomed to. I learned the salsa, merengue, bachata, speak Spanish. All of those things are good. Those are the good parts. Um, Financial considerations. Oh yeah, here's the thing. You can be broke. And I was broke when we started off. I decided to quit my job. I was like, look, man, I'm quit. I'm gonna go back to school. I gotta do this. We was down. I said, look, you hold on, we got this. So now we both winning. She got a master's degree. She making 60,000. I'm way in the 200s. We bring it together. Now we big ball.
Right.
Our financial is this. And what can make it more is, and I think I heard Anton say it and even Andre say it, when you can teach your significant other to basically be you. What I mean by that is, hey, I want you to make me a thumbnail for my YouTube. I want you to go ahead and cut this up. Or I want you to look into this for me because I don't have to. Now I can be in two places at one time and I know things can get done. Now my money growth is exponential because I got somebody who in a sense is just working, not because, there's some people that work just so they can get over. But when you got somebody who's by your side and they want to see both of y'all succeed, they working for your success, it's an entirely different thing. You can make entirely way more money because you got somebody who's looking out for you, who's going to say, hey, let me cook for you. I need you to be healthy. Let's go to the gym together. Let's get this exercise in. All those things. We said familiar challenges. So now you got somebody that you can travel with. The best thing is I can take my wife to Colombia. We've been to Colombia, all through Mexico, all of those places. We went down to Cuba together. I don't have to translate. I got somebody who can translate for me. I got somebody who can translate and look out for me to say, watch out for that. Because they hear her speak English, but they don't know she speaks Spanish fluently. That's her first language. I got somebody who, if I go to DR, y'all playing for the concho or y'all getting the best price. You know what my wife says? Shh, don't say nothing. I got this. And she speak for me because they know I'm foreign, but I may look Dominican or I may look Colombian, but when she talks, it's like, oh, she know the game. Yeah, that price just dropped in half for me. So all the stuff y'all paying double, I get it for half. And I know how it rolls. I know how to get through the system, weave through the system, do all of that. Right. So those are the things that are some of the advantages. And even when you go to your relationship dynamics, now the world is your oyster. Now you can do it all. Communicate, talk, raise children. We'll have a child, and like you said, your child will speak 3 languages. Do you know how powerful that is? Your child could go to DR, talk, go to Haiti, talk, have French, Creole. How much more?
Such an advantage.
Exactly. The advantage that you can have. It's incredible. Y'all just see the negative part of it. But there's a great advantage if you can do it right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So we definitely been on for quite a while. So I'm not sure if you guys want to continue or you want to close it out. I know you Fearless.
I got a thing in the morning. We can close it out.
You got 17 people in the room. You tell me. Let them vote.
I got a question for the panel before we go though. What topics would you like to hear? If you can put that in the chat, and we can do some research during the week and bring them up. Yeah. I know some of the topics it dwelt upon is why women make the good men wait. The pookies can get on the first day. Why they make it wait? Does body count matter to y'all?
Hell no.
Can you give it?
Hey, my body count gonna be higher than any female I'm dealing with, man. I've been doing this.
Me too.
Damn.
I have to agree. Some of the topics. So if you guys are interested in a specific topic, we want to bring it to y'all. We don't have to talk about travel. We can talk about men's rights, women's rights, child support, politics, anything you want to hear. That's what we want to make sure that we bring.
Hey, real quick, cheers to the Lion's Den. These are great topics you guys are bringing up every week. You know, keep carrying on. You know, the voice right now is really low with all the drama. But if you guys keep on encouraging the brotherhood, you're gonna be heard. You hear me?
Yes.
And
Yes.
also, I want to add that to Ronnie. What about the next time the guys have something to say or push up? Well, you don't come to the panel. You don't need to turn your camera, but you can give your opinion. Sometimes when you write, it's different than when you speak. And we want to hear that part of you that we try to figure it out and still don't understand that mentality. We interested in hear your opinion.
Who is this? Who was she saying that to?
No, to any guys that
Oh
are
yeah.
picking up of the all the topics we bring into.
Young and old, absolutely. We're older guys sitting here with a lot of experience.
And you
We want
can
to get the
even have
mentality.
a
Yeah.
good question for
Mhm.
these gentlemen and have a lot of knowledge because it's something you can pretend, say, talk all you want, but it's something that you only win in life and it's experienced through the years, what you live in. I
Yeah.
cannot compare my experience with with one of you because even I want to, it's like no, you have more years and more things you're going through in life that I can learn from you. Why I don't use you and learn about those things, take it in a positive way, and think
Exactly.
about and say, hey, instead come and be hater or been talking things that are unrealistic. Why I don't learn? And I don't understand that from our young generation. Honestly. I love to have conversation with old people because I learn. I
Right.
take it home a lot of knowledge that I've been thinking, man, I was wrong.
I
I can
agree.
do better. I can do this. I can do that. I never think that way. I never figure it out. And that's what I like to surround myself to also because it's so much to take it.
Hmm.
And they can learn something from me, like technology. They maybe not don't know a lot of technology sometimes. So you can have fun.
We have a
Right.
potential topic that we could probably explore: dating women with children overseas.
Ooh,
That'll
dude,
be a
don't
nice
That's
touch
a
topic.
that. Don't
that's a
touch that.
That'll be a
that's
hot
all.
No,
topic.
I'm all in
no.
that. I'm all I'm all
You-
in that. I don't see.
Woo!
hey,
Yeah.
That could be
hey,
messy,
feeling
brother.
something to consider because as much as men bash single mothers here in the States, most of these
Man.
passport bros are fucking with women with
Facts.
children.
I do
So
have to
Yeah.
confirm that. Facts. These chicks
so
are out there,
this will be a hot
304s with
topic,
kids.
man.
You're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But it
and
is a nasty topic. It could be real nasty.
there's another hot topic: marriage and retirement. So again, there's a lot of great topics we could talk about.
I think I got a
Um,
topic. The topic of we're all pain. Like
Right.
to me that's
oh,
another myth. That's another myth. For me, that's another myth. That we're all pain.
yeah,
We're all you're paying one way or the other, and you're investing. Like nah, I don't. So that could be a good topic.
that could be a good that could be a good debatable topic right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Well,
perception of paying. That's the whole thing. Everybody has this perception you're paying for something. Really? Think about it. You're always going to be paying for something.
J. Clark
Well,
says,
What is the value behind what you're paying for is the real key.
well, nah.
Well, what
See,
is your return on investment? That's the
Exactly.
no, no. See. This is my thing, right? If you like when you first meet a woman, like
Facts, Jay Clyde.
when you first meet a woman, um, she don't know jack shit about you. If you like for me, when you first meet a woman, man, she's giving you the phone number because there's something in your personality or your energy. In
Yes, sir.
Colombia, you hear them say things like your essence, right?
Correct.
I really love your essence. You have such a great soul, right? So that's the reason why she gives you the phone number. Even here in the States, if I take a female out to a nice
It's the
restaurant
vibe. It's
down in the
energy.
South,
Right.
yeah. If I take a female to a quote unquote nice restaurant, and what's a nice restaurant anyway? You know what I'm saying? Like a nice restaurant, well, it's expensive. Well, it's expensive to who? Because
Yeah.
what's expensive to the next man may not be, that could be a normal thing for me,
It's all
right?
relative.
Yeah. So just the whole, if we go to a quote unquote nice restaurant, we're going there because that's where I feel like going to eat. Well, first of all, we go into a restaurant because I'm hungry. We can easily cook. I can easily get some groceries and cook at the house. So the whole, I invest my time, my energy, and my money. I want a return on my investment. Like, no, like she's into you because she's into you.
Correct.
She's into your soul. She's into your essence, the man
Right.
that you are. Well, I'm paying the house. You're paying the house because if you don't, you're gonna lose the house. You know what I'm saying? So
Either way.
yeah, it's a good debatable subject.
Yeah,
My
that's a
biggest
good
thing
topic,
is
man.
value. When you guys bring up value, the most valuable thing in life is time. It's not money. You can never get your time back, but we all on the panel know how to make money, and we can
Right.
always make our money back.
I
How
agree.
are
I
you
think
investing
now,
your time? How are you investing your time?
I think
Is
now
really
time
the
is more
question.
important than money. Like
Yeah.
now, I realize how important
100%.
time is. Like shit, I'm getting old, so
Yeah.
it's just like
The
okay, I need to.
realization comes on you real quick. Let me tell you, at 56, I'll tell you, the realization comes on quick.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you know what? This has been an awesome live, man. So we're gonna do a round table closing statement from each person, and we'll have Fearless close it out for us. So starting with play with a passport, man. What's your closing thoughts on this whole topic and today's conversation?
The closing thoughts on the topic, man, is it was a great topic. The conversation as a whole, I thought was very productive. I thought there was a lot of game that got chopped because a lot of panels really, nobody really comes on panels and chops game, and then the people who do come on and chop game, it gets missed in the mess. So that's why I like you guys. I like what you guys are doing. Also like what you guys are doing because I can tell that there's a Batman Robin dynamic between the two of you. It's not and I don't mean it like in a competitive way or a bad way, but it's a yin yang, and you guys are able to bounce off one another in a good way. And then I think Ronan mentioned it earlier. Um, if you guys just stay on your path, man, hopefully your voices will be heard more because I think in the travel space there's just a lot of noise, and I think the noise needs to be silenced, and there needs to be more conversations of substance. But I
Thank you
appreciate
so
you
much,
guys
man.
allowing me on the panel.
Appreciate it, man. Rolling.
All right. My big word and the word for the night, the word for the weekend, mentorship, is something that's been lost in our community for years now. I would say almost a couple generations. With single mamas, not any men being in the family, no uncles can say anything. The mentorship has been lost. I mean, with the Lions Den and the conversations that we're having right now, this is mentorship. You can take it little bit by little bit and bite it off. Like, how can you eat elephant one bite at a time? But at the end of the day, there's a lot of knowledge being spit in here, and it might take you a little while to digest. Keep replaying these videos. Okay. You're going to catch on to what we're really trying to tell you. You're not going to hear it the first time. It might take you a couple times to go back and replay what we said. But understand, there's real information being given to you guys that will out to get you ahead of the game. If you choose to ignore it, you're going to wind up bumping your head against the wall a couple times. These are experienced men that are giving you solid information, especially if you're in the travel game. You're trying to find a good woman of God. You got two men sitting on this panel, possibly three here in another year, that have all women that we have met overseas, have decided to settle down with them, have families, and do whatever we need to do. So there is a life outside of America as well. Utilize your assets and your resources to the best of your ability. All white men have already done this. For some reason, our culture always lags behind others. Okay. There's very few podcasts that give out this kind of information with no chaser. And that's the way our community needs it. The information needs to be given with no chaser. We cannot coddle you any more than your mothers have. Okay. These are men conversations. You need to digest them like that. And with that, I retire to the host of the panel, Fearless and Black Man Travels. I encourage you brothers, keep on doing what you're doing, man.
Thank you.
I'll join in whenever I can.
Thank you. Fearless?
Do not, under any circumstances, bring that woman back. if you always going overseas dating them hoes, that's what you're bringing back. If you're looking for something more meaningful and you can vet them, and you're looking for some way to compound your life, longer life expectancy, better health, more peace, then do so. Also, I know there was some things on here where people said they like some positive stuff. I really hope that goes. Because I tried to do that on my channel. I did an experiment where I put up trash and I put up good stuff. And you know what won out? The garbage. It lets me know that sometimes y'all don't want the good stuff, which is sad. So hopefully here we can give you a medicine and some Kool-Aid. Make you laugh, make you go. We just want to help you out from his experience. Please come back and join us. We look forward to it.
You done? Or you saying goodbye?
Yeah. If I say anything else, my liquor gonna keep me in.
All right. Hey, you know what? Listen, everybody, listen, man. We appreciate you taking the time to listen to us, man. We definitely trying to bring some quality content. We're trying to keep this consistent on every Friday at 10:30. You know, check out the Lions Den. It's open. The conversation is open. So we're gonna talk about all things travel, relationship, business, all things. So definitely stay tuned. We're gonna get better, gonna get bigger, and we just appreciate the likes, the subscribe to Fearless Podcast channel as well as my channel. And man, let's grow this, man. Let's have some real talk conversations without the bullshit. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for listening to the show. Again, my apologies again for early for closing out the first part. But yeah, that was the alcohol. That was after the second bottle of wine. But I'm gonna sleep good tonight though. But it's all good. But definitely want to thank you and have a great night, man, guys. Peace out. Later.